confident that Hillary Clinton acted appropriately throughout this process?
We are, and I think I would point you to the Accountability Review Board and what I think I would point you to the report that they put out. I would point you to what the two heads of that board, Ambassador Pickering and Admiral Malkin, each highly praised by both sides of the aisle for their long, distinguished careers, put out in a statement this week, quote, "From the beginning of the ARB process, we had unfettered access to everyone and everything, including all the documentation we needed."
Now the cover-up continues. That was White House Press Secretary, propagandist Jay Carney, defending Hillary Clinton earlier today, but he's leaving out one key fact. Now, the former Secretary of State was never interviewed by the Benghazi Accountability Review Board that he cited. However, today we learned that she wasn't the only key player who was ignored by the board. Watch this.
Were you interviewed by the ARB?
I was not.
You were not interviewed, okay. And you were on the job during this period?
I was at my desk that night till 2 o'clock in the morning.
And you were not allowed to convey information to the board?
On the 17th, I conveyed my request to be interviewed before the board.
And so they did interview you after that?
No.
Have you ever been interviewed?
I have not.
Never. Pretty unbelievable. Joining me now with reaction, columnist Michelle Malkin and Fox News political analyst also Juan Williams. Guys, welcome to the program. All right, Juan, I want to hear you say this. They requested additional security. It was denied. That's a failure. During the attack, they didn't send help that was waiting in Tripoli or C-130 to assist these guys. That was a failure. And afterwards, they got the story right until they changed the talking points for political purposes. You agree with all that? Have any disagreements?
I'm totally in disagreement.
Where?
First of all, we know from the military, you know, from Defense Secretary, former Defense Secretary Panetta, from General Ham, you know, we can go down the line. The Joint Chiefs of Staff all have said the military made this decision, not the State Department, not the White House, and
so
they
we
made
don't have a commander-in-chief. We don't have a chain of command.
Their people in danger.
Wait a minute. We don't have a commander-in-chief or a chain of command, and that somebody along the way, we don't know who, 8 months later, made a decision and told them to stand down while Americans were under fire and getting killed in Benghazi. Is that what you're going to say?
You know, you're just wrong. I mean, again, nobody was under fire at the time. The attack starts at 9:45.
And keeps going.
Our first team gets there at 5 a.m.
Right,
so, you know, there was a second attack, and then people, even then, what we heard today was people in Tripoli wanted to send then commandos, 4 commandos in,
and they were told to stand down
until after that second attack shot.
Let's play the videotape from earlier today. Let's get it right.
We determined that we needed to send a second team from Tripoli to secure the airport for the withdrawal of our personnel from Benghazi after the mortar attack.
But were any of these U.S. military personnel not permitted to travel on a rescue mission or relief mission to Benghazi?
They were not authorized to travel.
What happened with those personnel?
They remained in Tripoli with us. The medic went with the nurse to the hospital to lend his skills to the treatment of and care of our wounded.
How did the personnel react to being told to stand down?
They were furious.
Now, Michelle, I'll ask you. They screwed up before, they screwed up after, and then they lied about it. And I think it's pretty well chronicled. Tell me where I'm wrong.
That's right. Of course you're right, and anybody who actually sat and watched the entire hearing process, I did. I wonder if you did, Juan, because only somebody who did not honestly watch that comprehensive hearing today could remain, as you do, Juan, and as so many of these media lapdogs do, in this bubble of unreality. Everything that Hillary Clinton said at that January hearing, where all of the sycophants in the media praised her for her brilliant performance, was a lie. Lies, lies, lies. Yeah, they are going to get you, Hillary. Eventually they will. You will be held accountable. And I think in particular, the testimony of Greg Hicks, when he mentioned that he specifically talked to Hillary Clinton about the situation, that at that very moment in real time, Hillary Clinton and the top brass at the State Department were being told that this was attack, that Greg Hicks never, ever said that there was some kind of protest or street mob going on really needs to be put in Armageddon-sized font on the front page of every newspaper.
Let me ask this question.
It won't be, but guess what? That's why we're here talking about it.
Let me ask Juan a question. Juan, the original talking points, as Steve Hayes was able to show us the early version of this, they admitted it was a terrorist attack. They admitted. We know that the president of Libya said it was a terror attack. Nobody said it was spontaneous. I never heard of a spontaneous demonstration. Oh, let me pull out a rocket-propelled grenade out of my back pocket. I just happen to be here spontaneously. But that's what they told us. Now, my conclusion is they did this because it goes against their narrative. They were 2 months out of a presidential election, and they purposefully, willingly lied to you, all the people watching this program, the American people, so they could get elected and maintain power. That's what happened, Juan. Let me hear you do it.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, Sean. You have a case to make that the Obama administration did not handle this well.
They lied,
at all.
Juan.
But
no,
when you start
lied.
politicizing
they changed the talking
when you
points
start with the conspiracy theories,
all the
when
evidence
you go bananas
shows
like that, you know what?
Juan
that
Williams,
was a decision made by intelligence people. Jim Clapper, the head, the director of national intelligence, said
I know.
that is the directive that we
Juan,
gave
I really
to
feel
Susan
if I had a
Rice
picture of
that night.
Barack Obama on videotape robbing a bank, and he robbed the bank, and it was on video, that I'd ask you about it. You tell me, well, he's going to give the money to the poor.
Are you
That's
kidding?
what it sounds like to me.
If you get him on tape robbing a bank, he's robbing a bank. There's no such smoking gun here. There's
Well,
not
they're
even
on tape lying about a YouTube video that had nothing to do with this. Last word, Michelle.
Lying about what YouTube video? What are you talking about?
It's clear that he did not listen to the testimony from these 3 brave veteran whistleblowers. One of the bottom line quotes from Greg Hicks, quote, "The YouTube video was a non-event. This is the biggest lie from this administration and from this woman who still has political aspirations."
All right, guys, thank you. We're going to continue to stay on this story.